Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is GB Winging It, and in this video I would like to share with you my feelings about owning and riding my 2018 Honda Goldwing Dct Tour airbag for the past year and its first 10,000 miles. This review will not be your ordinary list of specs and features type of review or comparisons to previous generations of Goldwings. There are enough of those on YouTube already, some of which are filmed with impressive backlighting and incredibly sophisticated editing. This isn't one of them. Not here. I will attempt to convey my feelings about how this bike makes me feel when I'm riding it. First off, the styling. The all-new bodywork is lighter, sleeker, more dramatic, agile looking, just downright sexy to me. I mean, it was a real departure from the exterior styling of the previous generations. And if that was Honda's mission, well then mission accomplished. The infotainment system, the Bluetooth wireless capabilities, it's both attractive and intuitive, and with CarPlay integration, it's nothing short of brilliant. It's certainly everything I want is on my iPhone, and this infotainment system puts it right out front, sandwiched between the attack and the speedometer. I mean, all said, you will need a little bit of time learning how to interface with the system, but I tell you, if you're patient, it pays off in spades. I really love the styling of this bike. I mean, with the lower weight, the LED lighting, the modern tech. I mean, the multiple driving modes. Did I mention DCT? The F1 style paddle shifting ability is awesome. It is actually much more engaging than I had initially anticipated. This bike had so much appeal to me. I mean, aesthetically, it is beautiful. It's sharp and angular, just drop dead sexy. I mean, from all angles, I love this bike. Even from a rider's perspective, from where I'm at right now, over the front wheel, and just all angles. I really love the styling of the bike. Great job, Honda. What can I say? I'm coming off a slew of BMW touring bikes that have an excess of about 160,000 miles on their touring platform, so I kind of grew accustomed to excellent suspension components delivered directly from the manufacturer. And in that regard, the Goldwing's double wishbone suspension had a familiar feel, and it does not disappoint. This, coupled with the link braking and electronically adjustable rear preload settings offered, make for what I like to describe as a magic carpet ride. Hell, she's downright nimble at times. The technology is unobtrusive. It's working, but you don't feel it. You don't feel it because it's working. Honda engineering. A year later, I'm still blown away by how this bike handles and feels. Another note on the suspension and handling of this beautiful machine. If you're following my motovlogs, about 30% of my miles are two up. I'm usually carrying Precious Cargo, who offers commentary on some of my motovlogs, and I have to tell you, this bike handles it beautifully. The additional weight back there really disappears. Now, I'm at 220 with gear and with the 130 pounds on the passenger and our saddlebags and the top box loaded up. We're still doing it out there, and it feels great. Totally compliant, confidence inspiring. This bike has it all. The braking, the suspension does not suffer in that regard. Beautiful job, Honda. Let's talk a little something about how this engine and this transmission make me feel. I mean, when Honda paired the 1833cc flat 6 motor to a 7-speed automatic dual clutch transmission, that's DCT, folks. I was ecstatic. Ecstatic. I mean, in comparison to a manual transmission, there's always a continuous flow of power with this DCT because the clutches operate independently. Now with the manual transmission, there can never be a continuous flow because you're always in and out of the clutch. So the power to the rear wheel is always being interrupted. And because the DCT uses two clutches, it switches gears faster than the manual or automatic ever could. There is no lag or interruption in the power to the engine. And this makes it possible for me to speed up and slow down faster than I could on any other type of transmission. DCT transmission all the way. DCT transmission for the win. And I have to tell you, after coming off 20 plus years of riding manual motorcycles in excess of 270,000 total road miles on bikes, I am so happy I took the leap. This is the best decision I ever made. It opened up motorcycling in a totally different way. Having ridden the Flat 6 on the earlier wings and on the 2014 Valkyrie, this engine with the ZCT retains the smoothness of all of those generations. However, the torque delivery is so much more pronounced, especially on the bottom end. And that may be the result of the lighter weight, amongst other things. Also the result of the changes in the engine, throttle bodies, and all that other highly technical stuff that I will not get into. I'm talking seat of the pants, real feel, and hard numbers to back it up. A year and 10,000 miles later, having taken the time to learn how to use this DCT transmission paired to this beautiful power plant, this 833 cc's that are under me now, I am so happy. This engine, this transmission is so compliant. It gives me everything that I want when I want it. Flipping through those riding modes, the DCT engine never stops delivering power to the rear wheel. It is a wonderful thing. DCT forever. Well, these are my thoughts and feelings on the bike and how it makes me feel after 10,000 miles, after one full year. And I have to tell you, I feel the same way I felt a year ago. I feel great. And when I finally heard Honda was going to update this bike, oh, I was all over it. I mean, the older bike, the older version, the older generation, while the motor was fantastic, the rest of the bike simply did not move me. This bike moves me. This bike is sexy. I'm glad they did it. And you know the funny thing about Karma? In 20 years from now, when Honda updates the bike again, I'll know exactly how the guys with the older Goldwings feel. Until then, ride what's in your garage. Love yourself. Love your family. Keep the rubber side down. GB winging it, and I am out.